Mr. Holdren, I have a question for you concerning your previous answer. How are you going to convince China it's not in their interest to control the market on these materials? Because I don't see how we can do that nicely.
I'm not sure we can do it nicely, but there are a couple dimensions. First of all, they might believe it's in their interest to control the market, but if we out-innovate them, they won't be able to. If their only strategy is to try to drive out the competition by flooding the market with very inexpensive material, they're going to lose their shirts.
Well, they've done that, and they're making money.
They've done it from time to time in the past, but I think going forward, if we apply our comparative advantage in innovation, it's going to be harder for them to do it going forward. But
how's that?
The other
they control the market now, so how are you going to do that?
20 years ago, they didn't control the market. We did. And again, they captured it by underbidding everybody for the time. But their capacity to do that indefinitely is limited because we will out-innovate them.
How is that? How do we out-innovate them? We don't have the material.
Oh, we do have the material. The United States has very substantial reserves.
So, okay, all right, good.
Material.
How do we get that material to market here in this country faster?
I think we've been talking about how we do that here. We encourage U.S. corporations to make the investments. We help them with research and
information here is that it
development
takes 7 to 10 years to get a permit for some of these mines.
The question of permitting is one that I would defer to colleagues in agencies that issue permits. But let me simply say about that. I'm not sure where the 7 to 10 years comes from. I suspect that part of that is hesitation and delay over whether one can compete economically, and not actually the inability.
Well, this is the inability to get a permit. People are willing to do it. They just get a permit.
I hear you, Congressman. I have not looked at these analyses of how it takes 10 years. I think if it is taking 10 years, that's problematic, and we should fix it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dobrik. What could the administration do, as far as you're concerned, about making it easier for us to develop these resources here at home, other than talking the Chinese out of controlling the market?
From a scientific standpoint, just providing better information, understand what our resources are, where they are, how much there is. I think also beyond the United States, there are known and potentially future supplies as well outside of China, and I think that's an important point to make as well. With those who are perhaps a little bit friendlier trading partners.
Well, I think part of the problem myself, and in hearing of you address this, was the fact that the uncertainty in the permitting process, the uncertainty in the regulations that they're going to change from one year to the next, as far as the requirements for the EPA and all that sort of thing. Do you think that's had any effect on the ability to raise money and market these big projects?
Again, from a scientific standpoint, I can't comment on that.
Mr. Holdren, do you have any? Dr. Holdren, do you have any comment on that?
Well, I did see a statement the other day that Senator Bingaman offered, in which he made the argument that profitability and not permitting had been the real obstacle, and it's profitability that we have to work on. But I'm prepared to agree with you that we need to simplify the permitting as well. And I would note that this administration, this president, has issued an executive order on simplifying regulatory regimes, and a lot of progress has been made on that, and more will be made, because we understand that unpredictability in regulation is an obstacle to investment in business, and we want to improve that situation. We're taking steps to do it.
Could you provide this committee with some examples of that streamlining process?
Oh, absolutely. I'll submit that for the record.
Thank you.
Happy to do that.
With that, I yield back.